name's Siebert, and I just got run over by a tank. This is Brian Fiore.
And I was driving that tank.
Together it just got played, and we're coming to you live from the Cloak and Blaster in Orlando, Florida. We just got done playing a game called Spurs and Sprockets, and you can buy Spurs and Sprockets on the Game Crafter right now. Great little game. Brian's going to tell us all that.
Sure. Spurs and Sprockets. It's a 2 to 6 player game, and it's a visual spatial tile laying game. It's got the theme of World War II, but I think there's a couple of other versions of it available as well on the Game Crafter. So in this game, it's basically like 100% strategy. There's no random elements. Each player has 8 cards, and what you do is you lay them down orthogonally, not diagonally, adjacent to each other. And what you're trying to do is build a row of cards, get at least 3 in a row, but in those cards, each one has a certain value on it, like 1, 2, 3, or 4. And then there's also lines on the cards which could, be pointing to any of the 8 different directions: north, south, east, west, and then northeast, southwest, the whole compass, if you will. So if there's a line that connects at least 3 of those things, then you would add up all the points. And so the victory point condition is when the last player plays the card, you just sum up however many points each person got in a row, and that's who wins. There's also a couple of different, it's 2 to 6 players, but there's also a couple of different ways to play each of the games. Some of them start off using those point values and not the lines. Some of them use the lines, and then the more advanced versions of the play, you actually can make attacks, and then you can recruit neighboring and adjacent cards to help you build up your attack value. And if your attack value exceeds the defense value of their card, then you are actually going to then remove their card, and that goes then face down on their side, and they can play it later, but first they have to use up all the rest of their cards. So it's I'll get to it in one of the things that I like, but what is the thing that you like best about Spurs and Sprockets?
Really what I like the best about it is there's 3 different versions of the game in this basic set, and that's actually, there's more than that. But in the 3 different versions of the game, it teaches you how to play in a very, very simple, easy way. To the first game, you're like, oh, this isn't going to be very much fun. I don't really enjoy this. And then the second one, you're like, okay, I can see how it gets a little better. But by the time you played the 3rd game, you really should know how to play the game very, very intimately. And I love games that do that. Concept of Plants had that aspect in its early turns, where it kind of teaches you how to play during the course of the game and doesn't ever make you feel super beat up about it. It's by design, it's a great idea, great way to design a game. And it's something that you really enjoy about it.
And I would just add to that, basically the replayability with the 3 different ways to play it, and it teaches you as it goes. Plus you've got 2 to 6 players. I think there's a lot of replayability in there. But the thing that I like best about it is it actually started off, it seemed, at least the very first version of the game, you're like, okay, but by the time you got to the 3rd version, I was totally suffering from analysis paralysis, and it got deep really quick as far as like how much strategy is involved in like where you can place the cards and trying to attack the other guy's cards and remove them. But yet it still played. I mean, it played out fast, and the turns weren't taking too long or anything. But it's a pretty tough game, like from a strategy standpoint.
Yeah, it's deep.
It's deep. What would you say is the thing you like least about Spurs and Sprockets?
It's not tied heavily to the theme. I really wish I felt more like I was in World War II, or possibly even using one of the other expansions that they have for it, or kind of, it's a different theme. It's extraordinarily, it's still abstract. It's still a very abstract game with a little bit of theme in it, but it is good. And I don't like abstract games, but I was held into that game. There's pictures of us on Facebook where my head's going to explode. Anyway, so if there's one thing that you didn't like about it, what is it?
I would. It's kind of along those lines, but I would say more pointedly the artwork. Definitely, if it's a World War II themed game, I like to see the different Panzer tanks, or the right generation, the different versions of the tanks, and get some soldiers or some pictures of actual artillery or something like that. Again, Spurs and Sprockets is currently available on the Game Crafter, and one of the cool things about the Game Crafter is you could actually change up the printing theme on it pretty well. And we even got our own special edition of Spurs and Sprockets, the Just Got Played edition, which we will also be doing a giveaway a copy of it.
So you guys have the opportunity, if you're one of our subscribers, to get a copy of the Just Got Played edition, Spurs and Sprockets. I'm Patrick. This is Brian. Together with Just Got Played. Thank you very, very much for watching. Dude, I beat you in one of those games.
You did. And I didn't want to tell you, but occasionally I do let you win.
I don't believe you. There's no way that you would let anyone win.
You're right.
What kind of production is this?